Games Season 2. Theory breakdown and ending explained. A deeper dive into the terrifying realm of survival games that initially captured audiences all around the world is included in the much-anticipated second season of the popular video game series Squid Game. It does not merely repeat the ideas and tropes that made the first season a global sensation. Rather, it enriches the story by addressing the far-reaching implications of the games on both individuals and society as a whole, rather than simply covering the same ground as the first season. This season provides a continuation of the storyline that is both scary and thought-provoking. It does this by stretching the boundaries of storytelling, character development, and social criticism. In the second season, the plot takes up 2 years after the surprising win that Song Gi-hun achieved in the first season. As a result of his survival, Gi-hun has evolved into a man who is driven by an intense want to become aware of the truth that lies behind the games. Despite the fact that his once hesitant disposition has been replaced by a dogged drive, he continues to be profoundly troubled by the memories of those who have passed away. This psychological weight influences every decision that he takes, particularly when he comes across a recruiter who is arranging another cycle of manipulation in the streets of Seoul. Gi-hun now moves with the explicit purpose of dissolving the organization from within, despite the fact that he is not without personal hazards and moral compromises. This is in contrast to his previous circumstance, in which he was an unconscious participant. Not only does the second season not shy away from exposing the complexities of the games themselves, but it also reveals how the games are meant to exploit not only the desperation of the participants, but also the darkest aspects of human nature. This time around, the series presents new games that have elements that are both deceptively straightforward and extremely harsh. Over the course of one particularly memorable scene, a classic game of rock, paper, scissors takes center stage. The game begins as a contest that appears to be completely innocent. On the other hand, once the rules are revealed, players find themselves confronted with betrayals, alliances, and psychological manipulation, which raises the stakes to a level that goes far beyond simple elimination. The simplicity of the game, which conceals the tremendous moral and strategic dilemmas it provides, is the source of the game's greatness. The audience is reminded of the extreme inventiveness that went into the creation of the games, which are characterized by the fact that survival frequently comes at the expense of one's humanity. Gi-hun's journey is intertwined with the lives of new individuals, each of whom brings their own personal reasons and histories to the foreground of the story. A father who has entered the games in a last-ditch effort to save his daughter, who is suffering from a terminal disease, is one of the most striking examples. A powerful counterpoint to Gi-hun's purpose is provided by his tragic judgments, which are split between the need to survive and considerations of morality. The series examines the cyclical nature of exploitation and desperation through the manner in which its characters interact with one another. It demonstrates how structural injustices create conditions in which individuals are compelled to make decisions that are impossible for them to make. He begins to question whether deconstructing the games will actually assist those who are trapped in its web, or whether it will merely replace one form of pain with another. This is because Gi-hun's relationship with the father is growing stronger, which makes his task even more complicated. This installment places a greater emphasis on the mysterious recruiter, whose presence was felt throughout the first season and who now plays a more significant role. As his history is revealed, viewers are able to obtain a better understanding of the sad events that led to his transformation from a victim into a willing participant in the continuation of the games. This nuanced representation steers clear of the traps that come with simplistic villainy and instead provides a sobering exploration of the ways in which oppressive regimes co-opt and corrupt individuals. The struggle that the recruiter goes through on a personal level is representative of the larger criticism that the show makes on power, agency, and complicity. It becomes clear that the frontman, who continues to play a crucial role in the coordination of the games, serves as a philosophical counterpoint to Gi-hun. As he challenges Gi-hun's idealistic vision with a level-headed pragmatism that is born out of his own disillusionment, his conversations with the protagonist are rife with existential and moral problems. A representation of the moral decay that occurs when humans lose faith in systems of justice and fairness, his character is no longer merely an enforcer of the games. Rather, he is now a representation of the moral decay that occurs. The connection that develops between the frontman and Gi-hun becomes one of the most interesting threads throughout the season. It brings to light the contrasts that exist between resistance and acceptance in the face of institutional dominance. The mix of color, set design, and symbolism in the play continues to attract audiences, making it one of the most visually arresting shows ever produced. And disturbing dichotomy is created when the bright, innocent colors of the game arenas come into conflict with the horrible cruelty that they conceal. This juxtaposition serves to emphasize the show's indictment of commodified entertainment and dehumanization. Characters are stripped of their identity, and their responsibilities within the repressive hierarchy of the games are reinforced by the use of masks, which serve a crucial symbolic significance once again. The images are not merely decorative, rather they help to amplify the themes that are being presented in the show, making certain that each frame adds to the overall narrative. As the season progresses, the plot widens to include a more comprehensive investigation of the organization that is in charge of conducting the games. A terrifying look inside the recruitment process, which targets the most vulnerable members of society, is provided to the audience who is watching. The games are no longer a singular occurrence. Rather, they are part of a wider worldwide network that caters to a mysterious elite that lives on the spectacle of human agony. This means that the games are no longer an isolated phenomena. The viewer is forced to confront unsettling comparisons with real-world systems that exploit the disenfranchised for the purpose of profit and entertainment as a result of this revelation, which adds a new layer of complexity to the plot. The psychological toll that the games take on players is brought to the forefront throughout the course of the season. As Gi-hun struggles to come to terms with the tragedy of his past and the ethical conundrums of his present, his trip is not only a physical one, but also an emotional and moral adventure. The scars that survivors have are a recurrent motif. These scars not only serve as physical memories of the tragedy that they endured, but they also serve as mental wounds that refuse to heal. The show's depiction of suffering is unflinching, which helps to root its larger-than-life narrative in the raw human experience and ensures that its societal commentary continues to be extremely personal. It is one of the most striking characteristics of the second season that it is able to integrate references to historical events and cultural traditions into the fabric of its narrative. The series is rooted in a particular cultural setting while examining universal issues of power and exploitation. The trials that the players face are once again based on traditional Korean sports and folklore, which serve as the framework for the tasks. The meticulous attention to detail that is contained within these components not only contributes to the enhancement of the storyline, but it also enhances the show's critique of the injustices that exist throughout society. This demonstrates how cultural legacy can serve as both a source of identity and a tool for manipulation. There are also a lot of Easter eggs and subtle callbacks contained within this season, which provides viewers who are paying attention with additional layers of meaning and connections to the first season. Creating a sense of continuity that connects the two seasons together is accomplished by the use of tremendous weight that is carried by numbers, symbols, and even conversation. The recurrent motif of the number 1 acts as a terrifying reminder of the organization's ultimate power and control, while the number 456 continues to signify Gi-hun's resiliency and resolve. For example, the number 456 continues to be synonymous with Gi-hun. At the end of the day, the second season of Squid Game is a triumph of storytelling that refuses to rest on the laurels of its predecessor. The narrative is expanded, the characters are developed further, and the criticism is sharpened, all while the suspense and emotional intensity that made the first season so unforgettable are preserved. The show goes beyond the realm of amusement to become a potent piece of art because it forces viewers to confront the systems of inequity and exploitation that define the modern society with which they are confronted. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.